Hey guys, Bipolar Barbie here. Now, I've been doing some videos on needs and I just wanted to clarify, like, how can you recognize within yourself or within another person whether if their needs are not being met? So there are really some telltale emotions, some telltale signs that we will be feeling that really should be ringing alarm bells, alerting you to the fact that some vital need within you is not being met. So generally, if you're feeling afraid, if you are feeling apprehensive, if you are dreading something, if you feel like there is this foreboding pending doom, if you are frightened, if you are mistrustful of something that's going on, if you are panicked. I mean, I've been petrified, scared, and I don't trust people very easily because of the things that have happened to my life. So I'm suspicious. If I'm terrified, I often feel, wary about somebody or a situation and worried and concerned. And I don't think what a lot of people would understand is that feeling means that I don't have a need that's being met, whether it be my need for emotional or physical safety, my need for acceptance, to be loved, to have connection with another person. That is, we're looking back on my life where now that I know this about needs, I'd be going, oh my God, okay. If I'm feeling those things again, rather than blaming someone for making me feel that way, I need to think about it inwardly and go, okay, well, what are these emotions telling me about my needs? And even when you get annoyed with someone, so like if you're feeling like aggravated, dismayed, disgruntled, if you're like completely at your wits' end, exasperated, if you're impatient or frustrated, you're irritated, or if you're just like generally irked in some way, then that means a need of yours is not being met. Whether it's a need to be heard, a need to be loved, or a need to be understood, that's a warning bell for that one, guys. And again, if you are angry, if you are enraged, furious, livid. If you're resenting someone as well, which I think is a really big one, if you were resenting someone, particularly in a relationship, that is because they're not meeting one of your needs. And I think that's where you really need to have that conversation. You need to discuss, okay, this is what I'm needing, and I'm resenting you for not providing it. No matter how great the person is, if they're not providing a need, you will resent them for it. And you either need to look at, okay, well, how can I find this need a different way? Or if this person can't fulfill my need and that's an important need of mine, then, you might have to let them go. And that's completely fine. If you dislike someone even, if you feel a strong dislike, contempt, or disgust, if you feel hostile or repulsed in some way, appalled about something that's happened, if you feel a sense of aversion to something, anything, whether it be a situation, a thought, a person, a quality, a piece of fruit, like whatever it is, then again, that is warning bells that you are not getting some internal need being met. Even if it's as simple as like you go to a comedian, you don't like a comedian, well, he's not meeting your need to have humor and laughter in your life. I think when a lot of people get like really agitated, when there are those alarm bells going off in your head, when you feel like disconnected or disturbed, when you feel troubled, upset, unsettled, like uneasy, like that anxiety feeling in your stomach that builds. And I've been living with that for like most of my life, and that's generalized anxiety disorder. My life is always like turbulent, troubled. It's like a whirlwind, and I always have this uneasy feeling. And that is again telling you that a need isn't being met, whether it's your need for validation, whether you're not being loved, whether what you're doing isn't fulfilling you, whether you don't feel safe, It's the same as, like, you know how queasy you get in your stomach when you're super hungry? It's the same thing, guys, as like a physical need. And I think this is where the debate where people really get into where like biological depression and psychological depression really comes from. Because there are, if you don't fulfill these needs, you are not going to be happy. No, you are going to be really, really sad. So focusing on these needs is incredible. And all some people need to do is focus on these needs, and they'll feel happy again when the majority of your needs are being fulfilled. But for some people, it's not that simple. So don't stigmatize depression. No. There's many different types of depression and many different causes. Everybody needs to focus on these needs, but just focusing on these alone is not going to cure everybody's depression. So, you know, if you are feeling depressed, you know, unhappy, if you have this overwhelming sense of just general melancholy, you know, feeling gloomy, isn't such a strange word? I only use gloomy to describe like a rainy day. I think depression is more than just generally being gloomy. I don't think that does it justice. But if you feel, you know, like whether it be disheartened, discouraged in some way, really even disappointed, I think disappointment isn't just about, oh, I didn't get that job, oh, I didn't get this. It's like, I'm disappointed that you didn't give me affection. I'm disappointed that you didn't love me enough. I mean, it's so complicated. Like, there are so many needs here. But what I want from these things is just to let you know that if you are feeling anything that I've mentioned today, then that really does mean that there is something going on that you need to talk about. And it is a perfect opportunity, if you are seeing a therapist or something, to really explain and you know, nut out the patchwork quilt that is our human needs. Untangle that web and see if you can fulfill them. When someone is not fulfilling them for you, it's really not about begging them to fulfill them. It's about learning how to find them somewhere else. So if you are feeling, you know, anything else, like any negative emotion that is sending alarm bells off, is telling you that something isn't right. That's why we have negative emotions. We're not meant to be happy all the time. We have this huge spectrum of emotions, and they're there for a reason. They were created so that we knew how to interact with the world. They were created so that we could navigate through the world, and alert us to these needs, the same way as like physical pain alerts us to a problem in our body. You know, if we feel like we're fragile, you know, we're guarded, or if we feel insecure, sensitive, or kind of shaken up, you know, that's telling us that we're really in a state of vulnerability. So that we are open to being attacked, that we need safety, whether it be physically or emotionally. If we are in pain, if we're in some form of like agony, if we are grieving, then, you know, we've lost something. And it might just not be something physical, because stuff is just stuff. But physical stuff does fulfill some form of need. So I'm just thinking, like, you know, if you lost your dog, that would be absolutely horrific. And it's not just the dog, it's the need that animal fulfilled in your life, or that, you know, you mourn the loss of the holes that a person left in you when they pass away. Because whether it be your need for connection or love or acceptance, that's gone from them now. And that's really, really tough. I mean, it would be just as inconvenient and really upsetting as if, like, I don't know, your car got smashed up and you couldn't get anywhere. But, you know, you can get a lift with someone, so you can find another way to kind of get around that. And I think a lot of these needs, like, they'll alert you to something, but, like, feeling embarrassed isn't about getting someone to stop embarrassing you, right? So if I feel self-conscious, then that's really alerting me to the fact that I have low self-worth. If I feel ashamed, then that's kind of telling me that I need to change something about myself. You can't change someone else. If someone is hurting you, you can't make them stop hurting you. You can't. Believe me, I was that poor, pathetic bitch that tried, that begged for people to stop hurting her. But if I'm being hurt, if something is upsetting me, then I have to look at myself. I have to reflect on that, and I have to turn the tables around and go, okay, why is this upsetting me? Is it upsetting me because of some trauma that I have gone through in my life? Is it upsetting me because I have some need that's not being satisfied, whether it be my need for security? And I think understanding your needs then allows you to communicate them in a much less confrontational way. And my next video is going to be on that topic. Instead of, you hurt me, you made me feel like this, you did this, it's really deciphering the code of human needs, which is an amazing translating guide that anybody needs to get a hold of. And did I just use a pun? Maybe. That's a great idea for a new book. Deciphering the code of human needs. Maybe I should write that one too. When I finish the 4 I've already started. Alright guys, stay tuned for the next video, and thank you so much for watching. And if you can relate and are excited to Attitude Apparel, come on guys. Coffee is my lifeline. It seriously jumpstarts my heart every morning. So thanks for watching guys. Thumbs up, please. And let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you excited for Attitude Apparel? Do you enjoy coffee? I remember once I went to the coffee shop and it was PMDD week like it is this week, and I've just pumped myself up on so much caffeine because I'm not feeling it, and the headache's pending, and the migraine's about to start. But anyway, I went to this coffee shop and I was like, I just want a large coffee and I want 3 extra shots. And then he's like, yeah, but it's already got 3 shots. And I was like, I don't care, just give me 3 extra. He's like, so how many do you want in total? I was like, you know what? I am not in the place to communicate how much coffee I need right now. I was like, just give it to me. I was like, just give me all the coffee. Just make it straight coffee if you have to. I was like, and he's like, that's a lot of coffee, we normally, I was like, I don't give a shit. I was like, I don't think you're understanding me. I was like, I'm trying to jumpstart my heart right now, And he's like, yeah, but you could have a heart attack if I give you this much coffee. I was like, that's kind of the point, because I'm dead right now. And I need to, wake the fuck up. So, coffee. Thanks, guys.